What's going on, foodie fam? So today we are doing crab cakes. So let's go ahead and go over the ingredients and get started. So if this is your first time to the channel, please don't forget to like and subscribe, and let's get going, all right? All right, so let's go through the ingredients. We're gonna take a pound of crab meat. We have some mayonnaise, about a cup, some spicy mustard, 1 egg, panko breadcrumbs, and we're gonna add some spices, also some chives and some parsley. Now on here, if you notice, I'm putting 2 eggs in there, but I actually wanted 2 eggs in there because it was making a little bit more than a pound. So, but you would want to add 1 egg, and if you wanted a little bit more sturdy, you can add 1 egg and then 1 egg yolk, or 1 egg yolk, and that'll be fine. So we're gonna add some mayonnaise, and we're gonna add some mustard, just enough. And this is gonna be used as a binder, and we wanna get this really, really whisked very well. And I like to whisk the egg yolk real well because I wanna make sure that there's none of the little strainy bits of the white kind of running around. We're gonna add some lime juice into this. We also have some white pepper, paprika, Worcestershire, Tabasco. We also have some smoked paprika. There's some parsley and some chives. We're gonna mix that together. We're also gonna add some breadcrumbs to this. I wanted a little bit more. So I always tell people, taste your food. If you're not tasting it, who else is gonna eat it if you won't eat it? So taste your food, make sure it's good, make sure the flavor's there, because you can't change it once it's together. We're gonna add our breadcrumbs in. Now with our breadcrumbs, what we wanna do is we wanna let this sit and chill for about a good 5 minutes before we actually add the crab meat in. I added a little bit more seasonings to it because I did taste it and make sure it was right to my liking. Here we go, a little bit more granulated garlic, and a little bit more lemon juice. And we crab meat. Now, when you actually before you put the crab in, you want to separate it a little bit so you can get any kind of bones or any kind of shells that are in there. We're also going to switch it to a spatula. Once you switch it to a spatula, you're going to fold it in. Now, the reason why you're folding it, you do not want to break the crab up. The crab is there as your friend. You don't want to break it up, make it mushy. So once we finish this done, we're going to put this in the refrigerator for about a good 10-15 minutes to kind of let it sit and, marry together for a second. Now, for the tartar sauce, this is actually a really, really good tartar sauce recipe. You can do this in a food processor, or you can just do it in a bowl. I just did it in a bowl real quick. So we have mayonnaise, mustard, lemon juice, parsley, and chives, some Old Bay seasoning. We also have some Worcestershire, and we are going to also add in some relish, and these are capers. Now we're gonna mist. Now when I recognized this, I was like, man, you know what? I tasted it. I noticed that it needed a little bit more, needed a bit more body, plus it needed way more mustard. So I added more mustard to it. I like a zestier kind of flavor with my tartar sauce. Look, I added a little bit more white pepper, a little bit more lemon juice. Now, mind you, like I said, I am always tasting this. I'm always tasting it. Even though you don't see it on camera, I am tasting my food at all times. If you do not taste your food, who else is going to taste your food? You gotta know what you're cooking. You gotta know what the flavors are working. Now, we added the crab meat in, and we're going to put them in these rings. I use these rings just to make sure that I can form a perfect ball, perfect shape real quick. Now, once I do this, I am going to put this in the freezer for about a good 20 to 30 minutes. This may actually harden up. I'm fine with that because when I pull it out, I'm going to let it thaw for probably about a good 2 to 3 minutes. Let it thaw a little bit, but I'm going to put some butter and some oil in the pan. Now, I'm not worried about the butter browning or anything like that to become like a brown butter, because really it's not going to be in there that long. But what we are going to do is now pulled our crab meat out the refrigerator after 20 something minutes. 20, actually it was like 35, 40 minutes, but because these are pretty thick, that's the reason why. Now, all we're doing here is we're just trying to get some color on it. That's it. We don't want anything else but color. So if you look at these crab meats, they look so good. They were thick, perfect size. Now what we're going to do is we're going to flip them. So when we flip them, we're just looking for color, a nice little golden brown color to them. Look at that, perfect. Now that's how you make a crab cake. I don't care what anybody say, that's how you make a crab cake. I've been to many restaurants that make crab cakes and it's a lot of filler. This has hardly any filler in it at all. So now we got the crab cake. We're gonna add a little bit more butter into the pan. Now really you could just take this right now and bring it over to the oven. Now I have the oven in at 500 degrees. You can do it at like 450, 500 degrees is fine because you're gonna pull it in and pull it out real quick. All right, so it's only gonna be in there, it was only in there for about a good 8 to 10 minutes. I checked it, make sure it was cooked all the way to the center by making sure my thermometer was there. When you get your thermometer, you wanna make sure it's over 150 degrees. 145 is actually good. 150 is fine. Now look at the beautiful color on these things. Now we're going to put our sauce on the bottom of the plate. My plating needs work on, but I'm getting better. This is a really, really, really good tartar sauce. Now we're going to add on the show side. No, there we go, on the show side. There we go. Put that on top. Now, to garnish this, you can use parsley on top of this, but you can also use some microgreens. Microgreens work perfectly with this. When you're doing the microgreens, put it in a little mixing bowl, take some lemon juice, some olive oil, mix it around, and then just put it on top of this. It works perfectly fine. This is a basil oil that I like to put on the side of it. It actually works really, really well with the crab cake. And let me know what you think about this recipe, and if you have any other recipes that you want me to work on, put it in the comment section.